So it's finally here. The first teaser trailer for the fifth Predator movie called Prey has arrived. But first, let's talk briefly about the story. Then we can go into the teaser trailer footage. I did cover the potential plot about this movie in older videos, so if you missed it, here's the info. Set in the Comanche Nation 300 years ago, Prey is the story of a young woman, Naru, a fierce and highly skilled warrior. She has been raised in the shadow of some of the most legendary hunters who roam the Great Plains. So, when danger threatens her camp, she sets out to protect her people. The prey she stalks and ultimately confronts turns out to be a highly evolved alien predator with a technically advanced arsenal, resulting in a vicious and terrifying showdown between the two adversaries. Prey is directed by Dan Trachtenberg, written by Patrick Eisen, Jack Ryan, Treadstone, and produced by John Davis, who's part of Jungle Cruise, The Predator, and Jane Myers, who took part in Monsters of God, with Lawrence Gordon, who is part of Watchmen, Marty Ewing, who is part of It Chapter 2, James E. Thomas, John C. Thomas, and Mark Toberoff, who were part of Fantasy Island, serving as executive producers. The filmmakers were committed to creating a film that provides an accurate portrayal of the Comanche and brings a level of authenticity that rings true to its indigenous peoples. Myers, an acclaimed filmmaker, Sundance Fellow, and member of the Comanche Nation herself, is known for her attention and dedication to films surrounding the Comanche and Blackfeet nations and her passion for honoring the legacies of the native communities. As a result, the film features a cast comprised almost entirely of Native and First Nations talent, including Amber Midthunder, who is part of The Ice Road, Roswell, New Mexico, newcomer Dakota Beavers, Stormy Kipp, who took part in Suyi, Michelle Thrush, who is part of The Journey Home, and Julian Black Antelope, who is part of Tribal. Okay, so let's look at the teaser trailer. The first image we see is that it's from the director of 10 Cloverfield Lane. Then it switches to a girl running through the woods very quickly. Even as she reaches an open field, she runs as if her life depends on it, not stopping for a moment. This could be Naru, the main character of the story, or it could be another character. We'll see. She is then pulled down by a male character. Her eyes are wide open, possibly filled with fear. This male character makes a gesture to be quiet, as if something is out there, watching and hunting them. The camera pans back to the opening of the wooded area. To the viewer, we just see trees and the bushes moving with the wind. The boy raises his bow, as if he is expecting something to come out from the woods. He keeps his aim steady, waiting in anticipation, waiting for the right moment to release his arrow at something. The camera goes back to his face as he aims his bow into the trees. 3 red dots focus on his head. These are the laser sights of the predator. If you look very closely, you can see the trail of the laser sights and the origin of where the predator could be standing. It's very hard to make out in this image, but you can barely see the invisibility effect here. But the red dot does show it's right there. The video then cuts off with the female character looking towards the boy holding the bow and arrow. Maybe she has seen these 3 dots before and knows something terrible is going to happen. The last scene is of a female character rising up from behind a fallen tree or log. She's holding a weapon and looks onward to the enemy right in front of her. Could that be the predator in the background? If it is, then it has a new color scheme. It looks like a mix of beige, brown, and possibly light green. The last scene is where this female character, it might be the one we saw earlier, well, she rises from behind the fallen tree. The camera view is then in front of her. The predator makes a traditional sound. It looks like this might be the shimmer effect of the invisibility. The last thing you hear is the sound of a bladed weapon pulling outward, and the footage ends here. The release date is set for August 5th on Hulu, which is a streaming service owned by Disney. It looks like they gave up entirely on a theatrical release. So yeah, it seems like there's no release in the cinema. That's too bad. I guess I'm going to have to make an account on Hulu just to watch it this summer. So what can I say? Well, the teaser does what it's meant to do, give you a small tease without releasing too much information. We know there are Native Americans in this story, and their focus was on having a female lead character rise up to become a warrior. It's also listed as the Predator's first journey to Earth. I wonder if they're going to include a Greyback Predator from the second movie in some way. You know, the clan leader of the Lost Hunting Party. There is a chance they could include him into the story as a younger version, just as a way to connect to the second movie in some way. I mentioned this before, but the novel of the first Predator movie had a lot of changes from the film version. It even said that Billy's people fought these creatures in the past, something that was not mentioned in the movie. If they managed to say that Naru is the ancestor of Billy, they could make that connection to the first movie from the Prey movie. I just think it would be a great way to make a connection to either the first movie or the second movie in some way. I'm not too fond of the idea of a young Native American taking on an intergalactic hunter. She might fight the Predator with a group of her village warriors or by herself, I don't know, but the other issue is the rating. Depending on how it's cut, the film could be PG-13. Yes, this was said by the producer John Davis during an interview with Collider. Now, they aren't even sure what rating they want for the film, so what does that tell you? It's like they never had the idea of making it rated R entirely from the beginning. So it's pretty much up in the air on how much gore will be in the movie. I guess we'll just have to wait and see in the end. But please, do not make it a comedy flick like the last one in 2018. That was too much. Some fans are comparing this story to the one of Machiko Noguchi in the comics. I can kind of see a few connections, but Machiko's full story kind of went in a different direction, where she would eventually join the Predators after the death of Dashande and go on many hunts with his clan. But Prey seems to be more about one Native American woman who becomes a warrior during a time where it was mostly the males who were known to be the warriors of that time period. It's been known that this is a way to go against gender norms, so you can interpret that however you want. Alright, so that's all for now. When a full trailer gets released, I'll go over it and we can discuss everything from that video. I know there's not much to go on, but from what you saw, does it interest you or not? Let me know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. This is Acid Glow, and I'll see you next time.
Jam infrared. Get over here. Get me up. I'm not there. Right over there. Come on, man! I'm fucking dying out here!